Hey guys, what's going on? This is Family of Tech, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing a new macro lens from a company called TTartisan that is designed for APS-C cameras like the Sony A6400, A6000, and even the new Sony ZV-E10. This company from China has been making affordable manual lenses for different camera systems like Nikon, Sony, Canon, among others, and throughout the years I've been using their camera lenses with very good results. So they were kind enough to send me this lens for me to review and to test it out. So today I'm going to be using it on my Sony A6400, which is an APS-C camera, but also if you have full frame camera like the Sony A7 III, you still can use it, but you have to set your camera to crop mode. So let's check it out. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel, I do a lot of camera filmmaking and drone videos to help you get the most out of your camera. So if you're new here, click the subscribe button, and all the gear we talk on this video, you're gonna find links in the description below. So let's jump right into the video. So when we're looking at the build quality of the lens, this one has a completely metal housing with very smooth focus ring with around 270 degrees in rotation, which is gonna be very useful for precise manual focusing. Something unique about this lens, as you can see here, is that when you start focusing from infinity to a macro level, the front element extends around 2 inches away from the main barrel, and at this point that's when you get the 1:1 magnification ratio. The only downside to this design is that by doing that, you lose a little bit of light when focusing to its minimal focus distance, so you have to compensate with either more light or adjust your camera settings like the ISO and the shutter speed. The aperture ring is on the back of the lens and it has a click aperture that goes from f2.8 all the way to f16, which is pretty decent if you're shooting in low light scenarios. And like I said at the beginning, this is going to be a completely manual lens, so it doesn't have electronic contacts, it's not weather sealed, and it doesn't have optical stabilization as to be expected for a lens at this price point. But if you have a camera that has in-body stabilization, like the Sony A6400 or even the Sony A7 III, you still can use the stabilization system. You just have to go to the menu settings and tell the camera which focal length you're going to be using. So bottom line, the quality of the lens, I gotta say that is very good, better than many other lenses out there, especially for the price and functionality, and you're gonna be getting a macro lens with a 1:1 magnification ratio in a very small package at a very affordable price. So today I'm going to be doing a few tests on this macro lens. I'm going to be testing focus breathing, minimal focus distance, sharpness, flaring, bokeh, so you can see what this lens has to offer to see if this is something that you should consider buying. So let's check it out. Alright, so first I'm going to be testing the focus breathing. I'm going to be rack focusing from minimal focus distance all the way to infinity to see how much the lens zoom in and out as we go through the focal range. As you can see here, there's significant focus breathing, but to be honest, I've never seen a macro lens that doesn't have focus breathing. Some lenses are a little bit more corrected than others, but basically all of them have focus breathing. The second test I'm going to be doing is going to be the bokeh test, so you can see how the autofocus area look in the background. I'm going to be closing down the lens from f2.8 all the way to f16, so you can see how it looks at all apertures. This is f2.8, this is f4, f8, and then at f16. As you can see, the bokeh balls are beautiful on this lens, and it's actually one of my favorite features. The next test is going to be the flaring test, so you can see how it performs when presented against bright light. The next one is going to be the sharpness test, and for this one I'm going to be comparing to my other macro lens, the Sony 50mm F2.8, to see which one is sharper between the two. To my surprise, the TTartisan is way sharper right in the middle of the frame, even wide open at f2.8, and the Sony 50mm doesn't even come close to that. I had to do the test a couple of times because I couldn't believe how sharp it was, especially right in the middle of the frame, and even completely wide open at f2.8. And lastly, I'm gonna be showing you sample footage at the minimum focus distance so you can see how it looks. You can basically get this lens as close as 1 inch away from your subject, keeping in mind that, like I said at the beginning, the front element is gonna extend around 2 inches away from the main barrel, so you might have to adjust your camera settings to get adequate exposure, or you can get a little bit more light. So in conclusion, I think this one is one of the best manual macro lenses that you can buy right now for your Sony A6400 or even the Sony ZV-E10. I think it performs very good in different areas, and for the price and what it has to offer, I think it's a very good value for the money. Well guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe for more camera filmmaking and drone videos. See you in the next one.